very shortly. Let's do this. Amalia, this is uh, you can perhaps introduce yourself.
Yes, of course. I just wanted to say good morning to everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I know everybody has a busy schedule, so we're happy that you made the time to come and sit in on our webinar. Thank you. And hopefully you enjoy what we have and our special guest, Michael.
Yeah, so definitely I wanted to begin today and to start with our news items. And we're going to start with our usual agenda, latest news and articles. A few important things happening in our world. We have Michael Chandran from the CRM Experts also with us today. Definitely will spend some time with us sharing some information about the work that he's doing with the CRM Experts as well as with the WSI community. So definitely looking forward to that. So we'll have that as well. And we will probably have a session with Q&As that you can have for Michael as well. So let's begin. Let's get ready here. So Amalia, we'll begin with Bing's milestone newscast that came out. I believe it was yesterday, Monday.
That's correct. Yeah. So, anyways, I came across the article. I want to share with everyone. It's Milestone Big Now Profitable as Windows 10 successful usage. Basically, a search ad review. Search ad revenue contributed more than $1 billion to Microsoft's last quarter. Microsoft has announced a significant milestone that Bing is now profitable. On the earnings call, Microsoft CFO Amy Hood said, "In search, we expect Bing's strong trajectory to continue remaining profitable for the remainder of the year." According to .comScore, Bing's U.S. market share is 20.7%. Let me just see here. Microsoft reported that search advertising revenue, excluding traffic acquisition costs, grew about 29% in constant currency, with Bing U.S. market share benefiting from Windows 10 usage. Microsoft CEO was also remarked in saying on the earnings, stating that Microsoft saw roughly $1 billion in search ad revenue for the quarter. He added that the Windows 10 users have asked Cortana more than 1 billion questions. Windows 10 has been the most popular and best received Microsoft operating system update for the last several cycles. Bing is deeply integrated into Windows 10. So I thought that was interesting to share. And yeah, I just wanted to ask Armando, do you have any feedback on that?
Yeah, no, this is very important for both Bing and Microsoft, which is really starting to see that trajectory grow. We've kind of talked a little bit about it in the past few weeks about Bing's resurgence, if you will, and obviously it's a very positive thing that they are now profitable. And I know that they will continue to push forward. As a matter of fact, some of the consultants will be visiting the Bing offices tomorrow for here in Toronto, and hopefully we'll be able to get some feedback from them for at our webinar next week. It's been a big push of Bing since last year to really push on the launch of Windows 10. As a matter of fact, just speaking with the CTO here for Microsoft Canada earlier this year, he was very excited about this launch. Definitely saw the strategic importance of having both, obviously being as deeply integrated into Windows 10 and seeing a lot of growth in the mobile industry as well. So for them, it was very important. I know there's a couple of more things that are going to be coming up in the next months from their side, so we'll be kind of keeping you updated as well as they also look at some of their video game consoles integrating with Windows 10. So what does it do to our industry, and specifically for those ICs that are starting to do a little bit of paid advertising in Bing? Well, here's an opportunity to see that definitely Bing is growing and that the market itself is allowing for you to kind of target more customers, specifically in the US. So definitely that's very positive news from Bing. Excellent, thank you, Amalia. Just moving on to the next piece of in the agenda here. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is something very interesting that was actually shared in Search Engine Land, and it talks about Google's RankBrain algorithm. So this is something that's somewhat new, and basically Google's using machine learning to help deliver its search result to what's known as RankBrain. So as a matter of fact, if you do get the opportunity to visit Search Engine Land today or this week, there's a whole FAQs about it. I've just taken some of the most important aspects of these frequently asked questions about RankBrain and what RankBrain is all about. It is a bit of a technical aspect of Google's, let's say, machine learning artificial intelligence system. And it actually was reported by Bloomberg and also confirmed by Google that that RankBrain is actually something that actually exists and is alive, and it's part of Google's overall um, um, algorithm processes, right? So I'll kind of talk a little bit about it in the next slide. But yep, what is machine learning? Well, machine learning is where a computer teaches itself how to do something rather than being humans by being taught by humans or following detailed programming. So a bit of a precursor to AI, if you will. And RankBrain is going to be it's very specific. It's very important to Google's algorithm as it is really a major component of it. And just to kind of demystify RankBrain, even though they call it the Google RankBrain algorithm, it's not an algorithm in itself. It's not a new way for Google rank search results. What it is part of Google's overall search algorithm. It's basically a computer program that's used to sort through the billions of pages that it knows about and find the ones that are deems most relevant for particular queries. Okay, so if you were to look at the whole picture, basically RankBrain, this machine learning tool is what it uses, part of that driver to search and crawl and also interpret. And overall, as it sorts through these billions of pages, it starts looking at those relevant particular queries and feeds them, right? So it's something that you're going to hear a little bit more about it in the next few months as Google really unveils this officially. So people are saying, well, what's the name of Google search algorithm? Just to let you know that where it was originally launched, RankBrain was with Hummingbird, and the algorithm didn't have a formal name, but now it does have a formal name, what they call Hummingbird. And based on the experts' feedback and just research, RankBrain can be considered the third most important signal, right? So this new system has become what Google says the third most important factor for ranking web pages. So just a little bit of an excerpt, from the Bloomberg article. It goes to say that RankBrain is one of hundreds of signals that go into an algorithm that determines what results appear on Google's search page and where they are ranked. Basically, according to Corrado, which is a spokesperson from Google, in the few months it has been deployed, RankBrain has become the third most important signal contributing to the result of a search query. So what are these activities that RankBrain does as part of the overall search algorithm process? What it does activities such as emailing with Google. RankBrain is mainly used as a way to interpret the searches that people submit to find pages that might not have the exact words that we search for. So definitely, if you do have a chance to spend a little bit more time on the article. It does demystify a lot of things, and definitely wanted to share this with you. As it is somewhat important that you understand this, and that you actually are able to, perhaps educate your clients. Specifically those ones that are a little bit more technical or want to be more technical, and they ask a lot of questions about, how search engines crawl and read and index pages and rank pages. Well, you can talk to them a little bit about RankBrain because RankBrain is one of the elements here. Now, I'm going to be sharing this article right now on the chat, so that way you can actually read it after. And I know there's a few questions, so just give me a quick second. Let me just put this through chat here. Very interesting article. Yeah, so RankBrain is more about the intent of a search. Exactly. So that's what with this tool or with this process, RankBrain is actually allowing that and focusing on the intent and really relevancy. So and it's really at the basis now, and is going to be at the basis of all the other algorithm updates, right? So definitely have a view of this. It definitely shares a lot of light in regards to where RankBrain is and how we as SEOs can definitely start putting this as an important factor of search engine optimization. So anyhow, wanted to share this. I will tell you that I didn't have a chance to kind of go through the whole article because it's pretty in depth. It is a little bit technical, so it's best that you take the time. But definitely wanted to bring this to you, to your attention, that you should be looking into this because it's something that's going to be coming up and popping up in the next few months as Google really, releases more information about it, right? As Google kind of provides more information and insight into RankBrain. So be on the lookout for that, and obviously we will also keep you updated. So great article. Have a read. Definitely will provide you with some valuable information of where search engine optimization is all about today and where it's going. Excellent. Thank you. Amalia, you wanted to share a little bit also in regards to Facebook and some of the growth that they're experiencing also from their side.
Yes, so I came across once again this article. It's called Facebook Adds Public Posts to Search. More frequent updates may be coming. The company sees 1.5 billion searches per day, has indexed over 2 trillion posts. Facebook has announced some incremental search improvements and a new channel for its new newsroom called Search FYI that will provide updates on the evolution of the search of Facebook. This suggests we'll be seeing more search activity going forward. In a blog post recently obviously posted, announcing the improvements, Tom Stocky, who's Facebook's VP of Search, said that the company sees over 1.5 billion searches per day and over 2 trillion posts in our index. That's pretty incredible, actually. Facebook said that as of today, users will see or be able to basically more timely and more personalized search suggestions. There apparently will be a real-time dimension to the suggestions, as with big stories or news events. Also, the ability to search public posts as well as friends posts. In December, the company rolled out the ability to search friends posts. Search public conversations, that's another option also coming in. About the latter item, Facebook said basically when a link gets shared widely on Facebook, it often anchors an interesting public conversation. Now there's a way to quickly dive into the discussion. With one tap, you can find public posts about a link. See popular quotes and phrases mentioned in these posts and check out aggregate overview of sentiment. These updates are going to be first available in the US in English for iOS, Android, and for the PC. It is mostly about mobile. However, that's because it drives about 87% daily active usage and 76% of ad revenue. So the rest will come, but right now it's primarily mobile. Anyways, did you want to add to that, Armando?
I mean, this is amazing, and just to kind of share that it's again the opportunity that advertisers have in Facebook. I mean, with 1.5 billion searches per day, and the fact that 2 trillion posts have been indexed, it just tells you that the opportunity is there. The best advice that I can give any small, medium-sized business owner, specifically from our perspective of where we're working with different clients, is to run a test campaign, right? And call it a pilot campaign, because many small, medium-sized business owners, they kind of want to, because they're sometimes the least strategic. They want to be tactical and just throw money at advertising. You want to run a test campaign to definitely get some data, get some feedback before you launch a more robust campaign and spend more money on advertising. So Facebook, just like LinkedIn, just like even Bing or Yahoo, which are secondary avenues in paid search advertising, because obviously Google has the biggest cut of them all and has the biggest share of online advertising. You want to definitely take advantage of these other avenues, but the best way that what I would recommend so your clients do not get discouraged is to run a test pilot campaign. Once they run that test pilot campaign, you fine tune it, and then you launch a more robust. Because if they expect to get quick, major wins and results right away, it's not going to happen. It's better to go for smaller, quick wins. So, I mean, this is amazing. I just, anybody that tells you I don't want to advertise on Facebook, just, by listening to this, the fact that the company, has these results already, and that they're also doing updates to focus more on mobile. It just tells you that obviously, they want to focus on advertising and selling ad space as well, selling their advertising program. So great opportunity there. The only thing that I recommend is, again, running some pilot campaigns before you launch any long-term strategies within these social media properties. So thank you, Amalia. The other component that I wanted to share quickly is in regards to something that came up again in regards to voice search, right? And we've kind of talked a little bit about it, and the stats are there. One of the key stats is that people talk about the fact that 41% of adults and 55% of teens use Siri, Google Now, or Cortana voice search at least once a day. So we've talked about it, in various different webinars about the importance of voice search, and the fact that the younger generations are really adapting to the use of these tools. So many top tech companies are definitely spending a lot of money and manpower to make it convenient for people to control their devices using voice commands. And when you look at the whole marketplace, what they're kind of looking at right now, the strategy that they're following is obviously search, learn, anticipate, and predict, where you have these tools such as Google Now, who's definitely providing key information. And we talked about Google Now cards last week, where they actually update you even before you ask for it through Google Cards, giving you updates on weather, giving you updates on sports results, giving you updates on kind of like alerts, giving you updates on traffic. So these companies are definitely spending a lot of money into the voice search component, right? And as the next generation or next wave. And it definitely, for us as digital marketeers, it leads us to that question: what's that impact on web presence, right? So how would that impact search engine optimization, right? How would that impact generating traffic online? So these are very, very valid questions. In this article, also in Search Engine Land, it looks like we're kind of getting all of our articles from Search Engine Land this week. It definitely talks about the fact that there isn't really a magic formula today or any type of special markup coding that needs to be added in order for your website to be to get any more results, let's say via voice search or voice activated searches, right? Requests, right? There's no special markup. What their experts recommend right now is to follow all the best practices and update regularly to keep your website optimized for search, right? So this goes, pretty much follow SEO 101, right? And as long as you're doing SEO 101, definitely you have a great chance for your website to uh, uh, be optimized for voice activated searches. Now, will that change in the future? Perhaps. Some of the things that they're seeing that could definitely work in the future would be obviously more conversational way of searching. So as a result, the content that we're providing, the content that we're writing in our marketing strategy will have to be a bit more conversational, right? Providing direct answers in content almost in a natural way. So it definitely kind of leads us to begin to plan for more strategic content writing, where it is conversational, where it provides more direct answers to potential questions that clients may have coming to a website. So an About Us page it may not just be your stereotypical information page, but it can also provide answers about the services, or about the results, or about the reviews from other from third parties, right? Because you want to have direct answers. You probably, one of the things that is recommended long term, we may need to optimize for more long tail keywords, and we talked a little bit about it, just because people are searching more for long tail keywords via voice search, right, versus keyword search, where they'll have one or two keywords, and those are the search terms. Obviously, with Siri, Google Now, or Cortana. In voice search, they're finding that people are actually using long tail keywords. There's an increased emphasis on sentences or phrases and less on keywords, very important. Tagging and semantic search playing a greater role. Okay, Google and other voice apps may provide data and stats on search queries and results. So that may happen in the future. That may have, may actually provide more than what we have today on Google Search Console, also known as Google Webmaster Tools. And if there's a movement towards special tags or markup for voice, that will involve learning and implementation. So that's something that could have an impact on the web presence in the future. And a greater need for optimized images and videos, right? So in that sense, we're looking at full optimization, and let's say not just title tags or description tags, but also even in grade like a whole transcript and summary of these videos and more information about images, right? So that way, as individuals are doing these voice searches, they can actually, this can be served and picked up, right? Picked up and served, sorry. So it's very interesting, a very interesting article just to keep, to keep abreast of what's happening right now with voice search. We've kind of talked a lot about it in 2015. Even looking at this stat that was shared was basically from last year, October 2014. So it's been a year, and even a year ago, you were looking at 41% of adults and 55% of teens using these tools. It'd be interesting to find out in the coming months how these numbers have changed, have increased, right? So again, wanted to share this interesting article to everyone because it does affect or it kind of gets us thinking about what's going to happen in the next few years, or let alone probably the next 12 months, on how we begin to look at search engine optimization. Excellent. And then the last thing that I wanted to share today before I give the podium to Michael here today is, you know, we've been getting a lot of questions sometimes from ICs about, or even clients have shared these questions to the consultants in regards to how social signals really affect search rankings. And this is an interesting article from Search Engine Watch, and the author definitely drew some of that data and some of that information from Moss's recent correlational report, and he talks a little bit about how social signals actually really impact search rankings. Now, if we go back to what we discussed a few weeks ago in regards to Moss's correlational report, social metrics were evaluated to be the ninth most correlative quality for high search ranking. So it was amongst the top 10 important things that need to happen in order for a website to be properly optimized, right? And their description, or Moss's description of page level social metrics, was quantity, quality of tweeted links, Facebook shares, Google pluses, etc. to the page. So it's having those signals, it's having that activity on the social media properties that actually validate or validate or give the thumbs up to what's happening on any given social media property and brand and also website, right? So here are some things that they talked about how social signals really affect your search rankings. One of them is really considering the fact that having a wider pool of followers will generally lead to a higher number of likes, shares, and comments for your content. So if you have a client who's not too keen on social media property, who they say, well, it doesn't work in my industry, I don't really generate leads from there, I don't think my clients are there. Well, you know what? Think a little bit again. If you're able to cast a wider pool of followers, and by followers, it's not just people that visit your social media property, but actually people that follow, right? That interact with you. Though that interaction definitely can lead to a higher number of likes, shares, and comments, which in turn can lead to more inbound links to that content. So, for example, through our adaptive SEO methodology, any content that's written or published on the website, it gets also posted on any of the social media properties, right? Whether it be Facebook, Google Plus, or My Google Business, Twitter, etc. Uh, uh, what that does is basically, not only shares that information to your followers, but also has an inbound link to that content. And the more likes that that post gets, the more engagement that that specific post or set of posts get, obviously, the higher the value is placed on those inbound links to that content, right? Another key component is having 100 followers who engage with you frequently and share your material. So shares are very important. In this case, Facebook shares, not just Facebook likes, but Facebook shares, is far more valuable than having 10,000 followers who never interact with your brand. So here's all about educating your client that if you are doing a social media strategy, it's not really about getting followers. That's one component, right? But the key component is about having these followers engage, via the shares, via the likes, having those social signals active, being active, right? And what's important isn't having a certain number of likes or a certain number of followers. What's important is producing material that's high enough quality to attract that kind of attention and passion. And that kind of attention and passion in this case is people who are sharing your material because they believe in what you're providing them, right? And they will share it with somebody else. So this is in essence does combine to make an impact on your SEO. And any links that you syndicate to your audience might give you a chance at getting more shares and earning higher rankings. But more important, it will drive a percentage of your followers directly to your site, giving you an opportunity for conversion, right? And this is why when the ICs talk to us about having a full-blown social media strategy, we always say, look, if you want to have a social media strategy, it's great. It's just that you have to be aware that social media, it's not the number one lead generation driver, right? It will generate leads and conversions over time, right? But it's not going to do it directly. If you're looking at lead generation, you may have to do something like paid search, direct SEO, media buying, etc. But that doesn't mean that social media does not generate conversions. It's just that that's not the primary thing that it does, right? However, it's still important because it will definitely drive a percentage of your followers directly to your sites based on the posts that you're doing. If you're engaging, if you have quality content, quality information being shared on Facebook, on Twitter, on Pinterest, on Instagram, etc., on YouTube, right? High quality content. Those individuals that are visiting you will more likely come to your website as well. So, anyways, I definitely wanted to share this piece of content because sometimes we get those questions about, how does social signals really affect SEO? And these are the ways that it affects. Number one, it is part of our adaptive SEO methodology and part of that whole triangle about publishing and also syndicating and kind of getting that voice out there. But there's elements that have to be considered as well. Excellent. So just one second, just moving along here. Just give me a quick second here. Excellent. So without further ado, we wanted to introduce Michael Shendrin. He's the CEO of the CRM Experts. They were actually at Global Convention this year. Definitely had a chance to meet with Michael. And just before I introduce Michael, wanted to share with you a little bit more about his background. Having started his business while still in college, Michael quickly discovered that the two most valuable resources the owner of a small business can access are the expertise of skilled consultants and automated business system. That realization later prompted him to incorporate the CRM Expert. And the CRM Expert is a company whose mission is to help small and medium-sized businesses effectively compete with market leaders. As the company's CEO, he leads a team of economists, business strategies, and computer programmers that provide cost-effective customer management and enterprise resource planning solutions to small and medium-sized enterprises. When he gets a week off from reviewing customer sales and customer engagement results, in his downtime, Michael flies to the Caribbean to enjoy his favorite extreme sport, kite surfing. So thank you for sharing that with us. It's definitely a pleasure to have Michael with us today. And let me just bring him on the line here. And he's definitely going to be speaking with us. Michael, thank you for being with us and taking time to be with us.
Thank you for the introduction, Armando, and thank you for having me here, both Amalia and Armando. I met both of them at the WSI Global Conference. Very knowledgeable individuals, very fun people to be around. They really, really seem to know what they're talking about. And in terms of lead generation and getting the people in the door or learning about a new business, I think they're absolute experts from having talked to them at the conference. The reason they brought me in today is so we can have a brief conversation about what happens once you have generated that lead, once there is some interest in the product or service your customer offers. How do we go about that conversion Armando was talking about? How do we get that potential lead or that potential customer to say, not only, yes, this is a cool product or service, but we're definitely interested, we'll buy 100 of these, please send them over, and how you manage that entire process. Armando, would you be able to share my screen by any chance, or would I be able to do it?
You have access now?
Share my screen. I believe I do. Okay, thank you very much. So once again, I got introduced to this whole concept of a CRM system, which stands for Customer Relationship Management. When I started my first business, that was about 8 years ago, I was kind of struggling with an increasing number of leads that I was paying big dollars for, and realized that if I didn't act quick enough, they would just go elsewhere or find alternative services. I was in a highly competitive business, so timing was extremely important. That's how I got introduced to the CRM systems, understood the value it can bring to a small, medium business, and then moved forward to actually develop over 30 systems for different customers, anything from small to fairly large systems with over 100 users. So our conversation today is going to be roughly about half an hour. If there are any questions, we're going to address them at the end, especially if we run over time. You're free to stay and ask some questions. You also have my contact information, and I'll display it again on the slide. But what we're going to go through today is a quick overview of what a CRM is, what are the benefits, what are the key features of a customer relationship management system when a company is ready for a CRM, what's the typical customer profile, and of course, what's in it for you for promoting this and getting them to understand the value of a CRM system. We're going to look roughly at how much it costs to get something set up and customized for somebody's needs.
Oh, it looks like we're having a bit of technical issues here. Let me see. Sorry, it seems that we have a bit of a technical issue. Michael just dropped off by mistake, so I don't, or maybe something happened to his
Mm.
line. Uh, in the meantime, definitely, what can we do here? Okay, well, we just wait for him to kind of log in, and something technically could have happened, um, but just
Yeah.
need a few seconds to stay on the line. In the meantime, the reason I wanted to bring Michael was to share a little bit more about the CRM expert and how our consultants can definitely, the WSI community can benefit from being able to share this with their clients. Oh, Michael's coming in again, so just give me a quick second. As soon as we get him back on the line, I'll I'll here we go. That was interesting. He's just logging in. So one. Hello, Michael. You're back again.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Not sure what happened there, but are you ready?
That, yeah, that made for a really, really quick introduction. I actually tried to minimize the webinar and it closed it down. My apologies.
Okay.
Can you share my screen one more time?
Yeah, here we go.
Share my screen. My apologies. Where did we leave off? So we're going to be talking about when a company is ready for a CRM, what the typical customer profile is, what the cost is, questions we should be asking a customer prior to choosing a CRM, and how you can work with our company, how do we work with your clients, and if we have enough time, we're going to go through a quick case study. So I'm not going to bore you with slides. This is the only slide we have here, and we're just going to go through the points step by step. First and foremost, what a CRM is, it's the system that takes over as soon as you've generated a lead. So you've done all the effort, you spent the money and the time planning a proper marketing campaign, be it a paid search or be it a social media campaign. You've generated some interest in the customer's products or services, but what happens next? Those customers need to be nurtured, sent additional information, help them understand what the value proposition is, and then get them to purchase and follow up, hopefully for repeat purchases. So a CRM system or a customer relationship management system handles that part of the business as soon as the lead is generated, from the moment the customer shows an interest up to the point where the customer is sold a product or service, delivered, invoiced, and the money is collected, and hopefully repeat business. So let's look at the key benefits of using a customer relationship management system. First and foremost, we're in a time and age where CRM systems level the playing field between large corporations and small and medium businesses. Historically speaking, up until 10, 15 years ago, you had the market leaders like SAP or Oracle, or the large database producers that used to do CRM systems. They would go for $1 million in implementation, so that was definitely nowhere near accessible for a small and medium business. That has changed over the past 10, 15 years, and now it's extremely affordable to the point where a small, medium business owner can set up a CRM account and start using it absolutely free of charge, of course, with limited functionality. But then, as they understand the value of using such a system, they can pay for services and get it enhanced and increase its functionality. Another key benefit of using a CRM system is saving staff time. There are many repetitive tasks, such as sending a generic response email to a customer, following up with a customer that hasn't responded in a while, basic tasks that tend to take up a lot of the employee's time, and that could be automated. The same message could be sent by a computer, especially if it's not a personal connection. So they can generate significant time savings, and of course, with time savings with a small, medium business, you're looking at significant financial or money savings as well. It can also facilitate seamless communication to potential or existing customers using pre-customized templates. So once again, we can have standard communication that all your employees deliver to a potential customer, especially where applicable and where there's not a need for more personal message. It definitely helps reduce the number of missed sales opportunities, because these systems can automatically remind staff to follow up with a customer or with a lead, whereas otherwise with most small medium businesses using Google Sheets or Excel documents, sometimes opportunities get missed. One of the salespeople forget to follow up with a lead that could become a significant customer. Another key benefit of using a CRM system is it offers full visibility into the sales process and the ongoing relationship with a customer. So it tracks every step of the process from the moment the customer says, yes, I'm interested in your product or service, to the point where the invoice and the product and service is delivered. Of course, it looks at the time it took to go through that process, the steps required to take the lead from just a general inquiry to a sale, and of course, if possible, to a repeat purchase. So that is a very, very valuable tool to have. And last but not least, it generates a huge opportunity to collect data about your sales process that then can be used for data mining. And a lot of large and medium companies on the market even now recognize that the data collected is probably the most valuable asset they have in today's day and age and in today's economy. It's a very important feature. What are the key features of a CRM system or customer relationship management system? Well, first, it handles the sales process management from inquiry all the way to invoicing. It looks at inventory management, so if it's a company that delivers products and not services and has a stockable products, it can keep track of inventory, automatically reorder products if required, so it can do a lot of that. Invoicing and collection, of course. Post-sale support, there's a ticketing module built into most CRM systems that help you offer post-sale support for both the goods and the services you provide customers. Rich real-time reporting, a very important component where you have, or managers have full visibility into the sales process, who's performing, who's not performing, benchmarking, and all that is a feature of almost any CRM system nowadays. dashboards that give you a real-time snapshot of how your business is doing, what your sales pipeline is in terms of both dollars and the number of customers. It can be customized for both product-oriented or service businesses, and it can be adjusted to work for both business-to-business sales or business-to-consumer sales. Most CRM systems nowadays also offer powerful API interfaces, so that allow integration with third-party systems. For example, getting the leads from your website fed directly into a CRM system. If a customer fills out a form, it gets fed directly into the CRM, and then your basic sales process gets triggered. You can also, if you generate an invoice, connect it with an accounting system so that the invoice gets fed directly into the accounting system you use. So it reduces a lot of time and a lot of repetitive data entry that can cost a lot of time and money to small and medium businesses. Last but not least, the key feature of most CRM systems nowadays is security profiles, multiple, as well as data privacy. So if you're in a large organization that has more than 3 or 5 employees or more than 5 people using the system, you might want to build some walls where some people can see some bits of data and others can't. For example, the salespeople might not need to see the entire sales pipeline for the whole organization and the entire revenue stream, but managers may need to see the entire activity of their employees. So those are features that can be built into a CRM system. So the most important question of the day, I guess, is when does a company need a CRM system? I mean, a lot of companies do just fine with using spreadsheets and using Google Docs, and they manage their sales process and the entire all the steps involved in the sales process using spreadsheets. So when is it a good time to switch over? I guess the key answer there is if you or your staff spend more than 1 hour a day on repetitive tasks, be it data entry or tasks that can be automated, sending automated emails, it's probably a good time to switch over to a CRM, especially because the cost of entry is minimal to none. A small and medium business owner, as I mentioned before, can actually sign up for a CRM account with most of the service providers that offer CRM systems completely free of charge if we're looking at a very basic system. Start using it to the needs of their business, and as the business grows and their needs become increasingly more important, or they grow, they can actually start paying for the service or paying for customization and ensuring that the system meets their needs and saves them time and money. So easy answer would be immediately. Even if you've made your first sale, it's not too early to set up a CRM system, especially if there is no cost to entry, or if you want to position your business to be able to deliver and handle a large influx of customers. If you have a product or service that's in high demand, it's probably a really good time to start over and to start with this and set it up so you can handle the inflow of leads or potential customers. Let's look a little bit at the typical customer profile. So when I say customer, we're not talking necessarily about the free accounts that users can set up and start to get a feel for how the system works, but rather people that are willing to pay for a system that's tailored and customized to their businesses and where we can generate significant savings. So your average customer is probably between 10 and 50 employees for using a CRM system. Probably once you get over 100 employees and the needs grow, you might want to look at something more complex. But your 10 to 50 employee company is the sweet spot because they also have a budget for developing this and definitely a need for such a system. You're probably looking at a $10,000 budget average, and the math is really simple for actually justifying the cost of customizing the system for their needs. If you're looking at a basic company with 10 employees that work roughly about 250 work days per year, that's the average. If this system saves 10 employees 1 hour a day for 250 days a week because it helps them automate some emails and do a couple of repetitive tasks that they otherwise would have to do manually, 1 hour savings is not incredible. And at the regular hourly rate of, let's say, $15 per hour for a single employee, the total savings for 10 employee organization, 1 hour a day per staff for 250 days a week at the rate of $15 an hour, this immediately generates about $37,500 in savings. So if you do the math this way, it's really simple to convey to a manager that, hey, if we save your staff 1 hour a day, you're saving $37,000 a year, or of course, you're saving your staff 1 additional hour a day that they can spend calling on additional leads or trying to convert additional potential customers or sell some more. So the math is really simple and makes perfect sense if you calculate it this way. We got a little bit into the typical customer profile, but how much does it cost to have a system tailored to the needs of the organization? As I mentioned, there are free options out there, and of course, if a customer wants to understand the value that a CRM system can bring, they can go ahead and go for a free trial or try the basic system that's generally free of charge. But if we're looking at tailored solutions that meet the needs of a specific business, you're looking at costs ranging from anywhere from $1,000 or $2,000 basic cost to complex systems that can end up costing $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. So it really depends on the needs of the business, but there is a significant opportunity for revenue generation, both for WSIC and a significant opportunity for money savings for the small and medium business owner. When it comes to marking it up, we generally are more than happy to provide quotes or price estimates for what it would cost to build a system that meets the needs of a customer. You have the ability to manage the entire relationship with the customer. You can take the quote and mark it up as you see fit and deliver it to the customer. We can also work on an agreement where we include the markup you think is reasonable and fair, and deliver the price estimate to the customer. So we're definitely open to collaborating in any way that you believe is worthwhile, so we can reach more customers and of course deliver this time and money saving solution to more customers. So if you have somebody in mind that might be interested in setting up a CRM system and taking advantage of all these time and money savings, what the main question would be, of course, what would be the questions we should ask a customer prior to choosing a CRM system? The first question would be, of course, what do you currently use for keeping track of leads and customers? And if the answer is you're still using Excel spreadsheets or you're still using Google Docs, it's probably a good time to switch over to a CRM system because it can bring additional features at initially no cost, and then as the needs of the business grow, the features can be expanded. Whereas with the Excel spreadsheet or Google Docs, you're technically stuck with the basic functionality of a spreadsheet. So that's a key limitation that could prevent a lot of businesses from growing or scaling quickly. If we're looking at questions that can help you deliver the value proposition, one main question would be if a computer system could save, of course, each one of your staff 1 hour of administrative work per day, how much would you save in total over the course of a year? And if we walk the customer through the calculation of number of employees times number of hours saved multiplied by the hourly rate, the math makes sense immediately. So those are more value proposition delivery questions than needs assessment. Similarly, another value proposition delivery question would be if your sales staff could spend an extra hour each day calling on prospects and delivering the value proposition, what percentage increase in revenues would they be able to generate over the course of a year? Usually, if you just sit down and crunch the numbers, the math once again makes sense, because if you're running a business that has a solid customer base, the increase in staff capacity should generate significant revenues that would well exceed the cost of setting up such a system. A couple of qualifying questions that you can ask customers so we can get a better understanding of the needs and if it makes sense to develop a custom tailored system would be how many staff you currently have calling on prospects or following up with customers or doing admin work. Also, what data privacy would the data privacy or security be a concern in this organization? This would help us get an understanding of whether we need to build those security walls between different users. And what systems do you currently use for invoicing, payment tracking, and accounting? Those are all questions that are fairly relevant and would be important in helping us determining if a CRM system makes sense and to what extent a customized system would make sense for the customer. How do we work with your company? how would the WSI IC work with our company? We're open to a number of collaboration opportunities, but the main goal we have is to make it as simple for you to work with us. So if you introduce us to a client and give us an overview of their needs, we're happy to take the ball and run with it, connect with the customer, do all the work ourselves, get the information required, put together a price quote, either deliver it directly to the customer, including your markup, or we can deliver the quote to you and you can negotiate with the customer as you see fit. For small and medium projects, 100% markup is not unreasonable, especially if we're talking $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 projects. Larger, more time-consuming projects would be a different agreement or a different arrangement, and we'd need to discuss it on a case-by-case basis. You will definitely be involved and have the opportunity to generate revenues for any subsequent requirements, and this is a key benefit because in my experience, having done this for almost 5 years, I have not had a single customer that came in, had a system developed and never came back and said, how about we also do this, or can we also make the system do this? We still have customers that we've worked with for the past 5 years and they still come back to us with additional requirements. So usually once a customer is working with a CRM system, they understand the value of it, and as their business grows, they come back with additional requirements, and of course we'd be more than happy to collaborate with you on delivering those additional requirements as well. We're also in the process of developing a pre-customized system with some of the automated features already built in. This would include standard business automation features applicable to almost any business, no matter the industry. And we're looking at pricing it low enough to facilitate easy entry. It would probably be below the $5,000 price tag. This is still in the works, and we expect to have it ready and available to roll out in the first quarter of 2016. But this would be a really good entry point that does not require a large financial commitment from the part of the customer, but the customer can also take advantage of a lot of the time savings and automation features built into the system that we pre-customize. How does our company work with clients? We can work directly with clients as well as other suppliers to develop more complex solutions. So if you, for example, have been working with Armando or Amalia, have put together a lead generation strategy, that's all in place and use their systems, and then once the lead is generated, we need to take the next step, make sure there's a system that can help them follow up with customers and convert them into follow up with leads and convert them into customers. We're more than happy to work with your partners on developing those connections between the systems so that there's a seamless process, and we of course generate more time savings instead of duplicate data entry from one system to the next. We also offer, as I mentioned earlier, ongoing development, and it's always required. We're happy to notify you of any new requirements that the customer comes with. You are the owner of the customer, so if we partner up and work with a customer, you would be involved in any subsequent requirement and any subsequent development or customization of the system. So generally, it's not a one-off interaction. We also offer directly to the customers ongoing training and support by phone, email, and web requests, either on a hourly basis or on a prepaid basis. This is an essential service, especially support and training. They're essential services that keep the customers happy and encourage them to purchase further development, training, and support. So these features are generally offered at cost by us, and we generally avoid marking them up just to make sure customers are happy, and we and you make additional revenues on further development of the system. So in a nutshell, this is what we wanted to talk about. Not sure if we have sufficient time. I think we're going to be running out. I wanted to go through a bit of a case study to show you how a website connects directly into the CRM, which then in turn generates an automatic email to the customer and generates a lot of time savings. I believe we're 3 minutes, 2 minutes. There are 2 minutes left in this, so maybe we can at some point connect directly or schedule a separate session at some point, and instead go to some questions and answers instead of going through a case study. Armando,
Yeah,
what's your thought on this?
yeah, one of the questions, thanks, Michael. One of the questions that I wanted to ask was in regards to the relationship with the IC community, the consultants. How is the CRM expert working with them? I mean, you share some of the things that you've been kind of busy with. What are some of the initial inquiries or requirements that are coming after Global Convention that you've experienced with consultants as best learning practices?
Thank you for that question, Armando. Interestingly enough, WSI itself, the parent company, has been keeping us extremely busy with at least five projects on their end right now. We've gotten a significant number of inquiries from the IC community, but they're still trying to feel out, trying to understand exactly what the system can do for a customer. General questions, most of them we've addressed already. What's the typical customer we should go after? How much does it cost? Those are usually really valid questions. And of course, some of them have straightforward answers, as the cost question is not always obvious because it depends a lot on the businesses. But generally speaking, we have had a number of requests from a couple of ICs that are looking to, of course, develop their marketing strategy, products or services, their key competency, but also linking it with a system that allows the customer to move forward and manage that ongoing relationship with the customer. And I think as soon as we launch a customized project in the pre-customized CRM that has a number of automation features built in the first quarter of 2016, this would generate and draw a lot of adoption because the cost eventually would be significantly reduced, while at the same time would be able to deliver a lot of the automation features that would definitely be more costly if developed on a one-by-one basis.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, and then the other question that I had was in regards to the relationship. You can have a relationship directly with the client where the CRM expert is really spearheading this, and you can also work with the consultant. Let's say the consultant rather kind of refer the lead to the CRM expert. Is there a referral fee?
Absolutely, and this is a conversation we'd want to have on per project basis because, as I mentioned previously, with smaller projects, you can mark them up as much as 100%, especially if there's a lot of value being generated for the customer. Whereas if we're talking a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 project, we're probably going to need to agree on a sort of a lower markup structure because there's a lot of upfront work on our end, but at the same time, we need to make sure we develop and deliver a competitively priced project. So we're happy to work on based on either model, but it's generally specific conversations that are specific to each project that we need to have with IC. Oh. As I said, the key benefit is not only the one-time referral fee, but also there are ongoing requests coming from customers, ongoing development, and we're more than happy to have the ICs involved in that process and getting their share of the sale every time we do any additional work for their customers.
Excellent, thank you, Michael. And the last question that I have here is from Bob. How does your system work together with inbound marketing? Let's say, does it integrate with HubSpot or Pardot or any of Marketo or any of the other marketing automation tools? Is there or do you have your own marketing automation tool already installed within the CRM?
That's a really good question. Thank you, Bob, for that question. There are a couple of answers to that. First and foremost, the system we use, and we've talked about CRM systems in general, the system we use is based on the Zoho platform. However, there are a number of systems out there, Salesforce, Sugar, a lot of CRM systems that offer different features. The CRM system that we use, which is Zoho, offers what's called an API interface, sort of a computer-to-computer interface. So as long as any third-party solution does also have that API interface and the ability to push information out of the system, we can link them. To answer the second question, the Zoho platform itself does offer a number of lead generation solutions that integrate seamlessly and directly with the Zoho CRM. Email marketing, there's a visitor website tracking, it integrates with Google Analytics and a couple of tools that are already available. Those are already predefined and set up. But if we're talking custom solutions that a customer really likes, Marketo, for example, there isn't a pre-built bridge between the two applications, but if the opportunity is significant enough and it's really important to the customer, we're more than happy to go ahead and develop that for the customer. And our team, as Armando mentioned in the introduction, is comprised of economists that look at analyzing the data at the back end, but at the front end, we also have programmers that can actually build that bridge between different computer platforms to make sure the integration is seamless.
Thank you, Michael, for your time, and thank you for answering those questions. Definitely look forward to having you back in the new year, and hopefully share more information as you are launching these new products and services. I think that from our perspective, we do have consultants that always ask us, what is the best CRM solution out there. Now, obviously, we have some of them that we work with, but sometimes, it's also scalable and also something that can be managed for smaller size organizations. And I thought that, your solutions, specifically with Soho, are very geared towards that SMB space, right? Where they probably, are still building their business, right? So it was great to have you here. And if anybody wants to connect with Michael directly, you have his information there and in the screen, and feel free to reach out to Michael. And hopefully we can have you back in another session. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for your time. Thank you everybody for their time as well. And we look forward to another webinar next Tuesday. And once again, Michael, thank you for your time and sharing with us the information from the CRM Expert. Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, everyone.
Great.
Talk to you. See you next week. Take care. Bye bye.